Today is the start of the first ever Netball World Cup on African soil. 16 of the best nations across the globe will battle it out for the next 10 days. And Newzroom Afrika will be there to give you all the details from the front row seat. Our sports anchor Benjamin Leshoro is in Cape Town for us this morning. And I do believe he's with the president of Netball South Africa, Cecilia Molokwane. Benjamin, good morning.
Good morning, Lebo. Good morning to all our viewers at home. We are indeed at the Cape Town International Convention Center. It's all happening here. The branding, if you can see behind me, is already telling you the story of what is happening today. So the venue itself, I complained about the buzz or the lack thereof in Cape Town throughout the city earlier on. But inside the venue itself, the ICC, which is the main center for the World Cup, it is all happening. The who's who of the world of sport is slowly coming in, and we'll try to speak to as many as we can in the next few hours throughout the day. And you're right, I'm with at the moment the president as she walks in, the president of Netball South Africa, Cecilia Molokwane. She's one of those who's of South African sport that are here with us today. Cecilia, thank you so much for your time. Am I right in saying the day is finally here? You are the host, you are hosting us and the rest of the world today.
Yes, you're correct. The day is here. We are counting we are saying 8 hours now. It's not that. We are counting 2 hours maybe, or an hour to the first game. I think this one is for the South African one. Yeah. For the first game, we are counting an hour now to say the reigning champions will be taking on Trinidad. But it's a dream that is coming true today. I mean, it started as a dream. I had this dream of saying, what can I do as a president that has never been done in the country? And one thing that I thought of was, it's a World Cup. There was never a World Cup in netball in the country. And I was worried that we are spending money all the time going overseas. And I had to sell these dreams to some people, and I sold it to the CEO, Blas de la Gay. Said, President, we have tried before. I said, you know what? Let's try and fail, but never fail to try. And then we went to the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. And when we got there, we were talking, and we were rejected twice, by the way. People don't know that we were rejected twice. Because firstly, the first rejection was the rugby is hosting 2023 World Cup in South Africa. So we cannot have two major sporting codes hosting that in a short space of time, because rugby and netball plays in that short space of time. And we're like, okay, we understand that, we get it. Then the rugby didn't get the hosting rights. And then we went back, we were rejected with other reasons. And then I said, I'm not going to give up. I am just not going to give up. I went back. This time around, I went straight to the then minister. I said, you are a woman. This is a women's sport. Why don't you do something for women and leave a legacy for women as the first female minister? And you know what? I think that got into her heart. And I remember the moment we were sitting and she took her phone, phoned the then DG and said, DG, we are hosting this World Cup. Now we are here.
Now we're here. Yesterday I had about 20-30 second chat with you. You were visibly anxious, nervous as you came to the ICC here. How's that now? And has everything been sorted? Are there any glitches? We heard about the ticket issue a couple of days ago. Has that been sorted? Everything is okay now?
Everything is okay. Everybody's got their tickets online. People got their tickets online. The others came here and get them hard copies and whatever they could do. Yesterday I was anxious. I'm still anxious. Because, you know, you don't know what might happen in 2 minutes. I mean, look at the weather now. And I'm saying, God, please don't open up the heavens. I've got a reason why I'm saying that, because there's something that needs to be done on the heavens. So we are not going to see that if God opens up the heavens, and it will spoil that whole opening ceremony on the first part, and we don't want it to do that. So I'm anxious, and I don't know. As I told you yesterday, I've got mixed feelings. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm like, is this really happening? Sometimes I'm like, wow, will this go well? And what can go wrong? And you know, it's so many things involved in one thing. And, you know, everything, I always say to people, when it goes wrong, it will be only two people that will be looked at. it will be Netball South Africa as a federation, and it will be the country South Africa. So to me, we have to protect the country and protect the federation. So we have to do things and show that Africa is ready, South Africa is ready, Netball South Africa is ready, Cape Town is ready, and we want to host a magnificent World Cup. But it's here. What can I say? It's here.
Yeah, speaking about South Africa, the game against Wales later on after the opening ceremony, you've insisted over the last couple of days that they have to win it. You cannot play the first game already. You're on the back foot. Have you spoken to them about that? Does that not put a little bit of pressure on the Proteas ahead of this opening game or their opening game?
You know, what I love about my Spar Proteas, they know my voice. It's a very hussy and whatever voice. Even now when I'm talking to you, people will think I'm shouting or whatever, and I'm not.
So they'll hear you in the stands.
So they know. They even say to me, President, we didn't hear you this time around, because we know on the stands when you say El Marais or you say Webo, you know, and they know me. They said we didn't hear. I say Mawene. They will say we didn't hear that. So I said to the team, we are on home soil. First time in 60 years. You're having the hopes of more than 60 million South Africans on your shoulders. It's not about netball anymore. It's not about you guys anymore. It's about the country. Then I said to them, you cannot disappoint on mother soil, on our own country soil, and take the first game and lose it. Because that will break the hopes of South Africans. And South Africans will never follow you. And you have worked so hard by putting netball on the map, because we can do the administration work, but the people that are playing, it's you. So they understood me. And I said to them, do us a favor. Let the mood of South Africa waken up and say, we are here, we are going to do this. Do us a small favor. Muriel. Because when you beat them, it's not going to happen. Because beating them is by 5, 6, 7 goals. I said, jy moet julle moer, omdat ons kom terug die volgende dag.
Okay, I'm going to come in there. Before we take the language a little bit too far, President Cecilia Molokwane, thank you so much. Good luck for today. We're hoping everything goes right, of course. And we, as a country, as fans, as sport fans, are behind you and the team and the federation and everyone who's behind the organizing of the 2023 Netball World Cup. So that's us for now at the ICC label. We will be giving updates every single hour as it happens from Cape Town. Tip-off coming up at 8:45.
Thank you very much, Benji. We'll definitely be touching base with you a bit later. That is the very enthusiastic president of Netball South Africa, Cecilia. In plain English, she says we need to win our games. Remember, South Africa is in action this afternoon after the opening ceremony, which is scheduled for 4 p.m. At 6 p.m., she says also there'll be something very surprising for the viewers to see when the opening ceremony starts. But South Africa up against Wales at 6 p.m.